Guys, I have the owner, founder, whatever you want to call him, of my favorite product in my studio, and we're fixing to rock a finish. So you guys stay tuned and enjoy the video. All right, guys, so I'm super excited. You know that I've been using the Fuzion sprays for a little bit, but I don't even know a third about all this stuff, and I'm so excited that Robert is here with me. He's the founder and owner of the product of RCM. And tell everyone a little bit about the product, how you thought about it or came up with it, and what all we can do with it.
Well, it's the product itself is real simple. It's the same mica that you mix into your epoxy. I just figured out how to put it into a can where you can spray it. It never goes bad unless you poke a hole in the can. I've tried it with every epoxy out there. I've never had a failure with an epoxy. The products in the can are compatible with all epoxies, whether it's floor epoxies or countertop epoxies, whatever.
What about some maybe polyaspartics?
It works with all any solvent-based product. It's the acrylic sealers that are solvent-based.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Overlays, it works in overlays. Cementitious product, it works in that. It pretty much works in anything wet.
Awesome. There we go.
As long as you got her wet.
Would it improve my cooking? I don't think.
Anyway, no.
Okay, I digress. Go ahead.
There's a lot of advantages to using it. The number one advantage, and the reason I came up with it, is failures. And 90% of the failures that we have, whether it be in countertops or floors, was mixing issues. I don't care if you spray this entire can on this board. It doesn't hurt the epoxy. It won't have a failure. So I took that part out. One of the other advantages is it will extend the life of your epoxy by about 50%. I don't know if you knew that.
Yes, I did. I do know that I end up having more open time with it.
The longer you let your epoxy set, the more effect you can get out of it. So if we spray immediately, we're going to get one effect.
Yep.
If we wait for half an hour, we're going to get another effect. And if I wait for 2 hours, I can get another effect.
Now, I'm not done that. I'm going to have to try that.
I have waited for up to 2 hours to get a certain effect that I was looking for.
Very good.
It's all in a matter of playing.
Well, here's what we're going to do today. All right. I mixed up some clear.
Okay.
And then I mixed up just some and tinted it white. Okay. So have fun. I want to watch and see what you create.
Awesome. You want me to do the whole board or just a piece?
All the whole board. It's all you.
Well, that ain't going to take much because it doesn't take much.
I need to get you some gloves.
I'm not allergic.
Well, I know, but I can't stand that stuff on my fingers.
I can't either. I just thought I was second rate here. No, it didn't rank any gloves.
No, we don't give our guests gloves. That's the initiation.
A roller, or how do you want to?
A roller? I have rollers.
I do most of my spreading with a roller.
Okay, and I put this stuff on it so I can use it over and over again. We good?
Perfectly fine. Yeah,
okay.
I'm just trying to smoosh it out.
All right.
I don't get real fancy at this part because I really don't care.
Okay.
I'm just simply moving epoxy around.
All right, so I have, that's the clear, and then I also have this white, whatever you want to do with it.
Yeah, we'll lay the white in here in just a minute.
Okay. At this point, you can get it on any way you want to. You can use a roller, you could use your hand, you can use whatever you want to do.
I hate getting stuff on my hands. So
well, I don't, so I'm going to help you out here.
You go right ahead.
I love using my hand.
Because my luck, the last time I did it with my hands, I scratched my nose.
Oh my gosh, I get it in my hair.
The neat part about the spray is I don't have to have it real thick because it's going to sink into it no matter what I do.
Okay, well there's good.
I don't have to have it super flat because the product that is in Relax that makes the epoxy just kind of settle out is in the spray also, in the colors. The only difference is I took the mica out of the Relax.
Okay.
So it works really, really well.
Well, and I love the Relax, the fact that it does exactly what you say. It just makes the finish like glass. It's incredible.
And it just flattens it out. Like we said, one of the first things we do, I didn't do any of the edges. You want the edges?
No, we're good. Now you'll notice we have bubbles. We haven't torched. And I'm going to show you he's going to show you what all you can do without even using a torch.
Right. Because this has the same product that Relax, I kind of eliminate that need.
Yep.
Which was one of the byproducts that I didn't know about until I did it.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And it just works. The style, how you do it, I don't care, but going a color into clear, I'm gonna get that exact color. If I was to put it into white, it's gonna change my color because I'm blending two colors.
Right, exactly.
Like if I do a white with a black, I'm gonna get a gray.
gray.
Not a lot I can do to stop that.
Exactly.
So a lot of what I do is into clear.
So it's really important that your substrate be prepped correctly and
Yes.
painted the color that you want to ghost up through that clear.
Correct.
Cool.
And you'll notice here, I can cover everything with just spray. I don't have to.
Sure.
I can mix up little cups of color like you have there and use them because they flow differently.
And we're going to kind of show that also. We're going to
Exactly.
do kind of both on this. So
Number one thing is shake it up. You have to get it shaken up well. I always do a little test spot on my table. Sorry about your
no,
table.
I do the same thing.
That way I know what my pattern's doing. I know I'm not squirting a straight line because I didn't clean the can out. So I'm getting some nice color going on. For me, the way I hold my can, whether I'm up high, whether I'm close, whether I'm sideways, is gonna give me a specific look.
Okay.
So if I come up high, I'm gonna get more of a fog going on.
Right.
So if I come in low, I'm gonna get a much more heavy stream, except
Hit
you'll
your
run your
finger.
finger through it. But even at that, you can start to see it automatically start to separate out.
Right.
Whereas this, I can do this and get a color change or change the tone of the board.
Yep. I'll tell you really quickly, I love to do both. I like to take a piece and if I want to tone down like that real bright white or something,
Right.
I'll fog it from real high and it'll kind of lower down on it and it'll just give like a little bit of a sheen change.
Right. I'm not a big fan of spraying it and leave it alone. I like to manipulate it and do a little bit of
course.
playing.
Of course.
Because if you leave it alone, it looks like you sprayed a line across your board.
Exactly.
To me, it does. Some
Right.
people love it and they just leave it just like it
Yeah,
is.
I love this color. This is my favorite. So this color is the brass bell.
This is the brass
Okay,
bell.
this is the one I use the most.
And it's like all your mica. If you look real close, you've got the high color of brass and you got the low color of brass. So all of the micas are going to have that color shift. So you're going to get two just the same as if you mixed it in a cup.
In a cup.
It's exactly the same. I just don't have to mix it.
Right, perfect.
I make it easy. Now some of the odder color combinations that you can use, like Paxton pink. I like all my colors, but this is kind of a one I really like. So some of your odder color combinations work really, really well. And whether you do them high and you're just wanting to give a little tint, it looks good.
I love that color. I've never thought about putting that color next
Most
to
people
brass
won't.
bell.
And like on this one, I let it separate out a little bit and I let it kind of do a little bit of its thing. And I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna give it a little bit more. So now my epoxy's flowing out just a little bit because I'm relaxing it because it relaxes in the can.
Right.
But if you'll notice, it's automatically gonna start pushing out and flowing right back. So it's not gonna,
It doesn't create a divot.
Correct.
It opens and then it comes back.
right, it's, the reason I named Relax is because it's like if you torch it and it just relaxes.
Very good.
That's it. Anywhere where I've sprayed, I have zero bubbles.
Right, exactly.
All of this over here still has lots of bubbles. I just don't have any.
Right.
Now, one of our more pigmented colors, you got to really pay attention and play. If you have a highly pigmented, they're all pigmented the same, but some of them are darker pigments than the others, like black. Raven black it's as black as I can make one.
Right.
And I made it as black as I could possibly get. But on it, you can do the same thing.
Yep.
You can float over the top and it gives you, like if I was gonna do a Carrara marble in white, I would do a white base coat, let it dry, put clear on top and spray my black and manipulate it just a little bit. But now you can see the brown, the pink, and the black highlighting through.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to get a pattern out of that, I'd simply just wait. And it's gonna kind of come to me. It just kind of does it itself. Now, if
So you're not in a hurry. You're like, I don't have to spray it and then hurry up and manipulate it.
Not at all.
Okay.
Like whenever you got 8 cups mixed up of different
Right.
colors, you're in a hurry.
Right,
'Cause
exactly.
They're cooking off.
Yeah.
It's going.
Yeah.
Like that white, we need to probably
Yeah, we
get it.
need to do something.
We need to do something because it's
That's
going
right.
to go.
That's right.
On this stuff here, I don't care. I'd set the cup down, walk over, eat a burrito and come back and I'm good to go.
There we go.
But I can come through here and do a much more solid line. But if you notice how it's making the really thin vein coming through here. Now, I haven't touched it yet.
Right. So at this point, a lot, especially novice, they're starting to panic.
Yes.
Because they're like, oh, I have all this color, I've got to do something.
That's right.
So right now, we're in no hurry.
None whatsoever.
Awesome.
Like I said, the number one thing you're going to have to hurry for is to use that white, because
because we already have some white sitting in, and this is just white tinted epoxy. It's not tinted with Fuzion, it's just tinted with dye.
Now
and it's just
sitting. Let's go ahead and pour that in just for the heck of it. You want to pour it?
Nope.
I don't care.
Nope, I'm letting you do this.
Now, I do mine a little bit differently than most. I may come through with a vein. Even if I'm clear. Now, if you watch how that white separated everything out, and it starts to push me back. So if I'm looking for veining, I'm going to use a colored epoxy to do my veining. If I want real thin, I'm going to take like a Bondo scraper. I'm sure you've used them. And I'll scooch it all together, and I can get as thin a vein as I want. Anything that I want to get, but I have yet to touch this.
Right. No, this is just laying it down.
But I'll show you the difference in spraying a color into clear versus a color into white. So now I'm a little bit high, so I'm wanting more of a broadcast. So if I'm coming up, I did it that way where you can see
how it goes into the white as opposed to going into the clear.
Right.
Right.
So, and we'll let it kind of melt out a little bit and kind of do some of its thing. And let's say I wanted to influence the entire board because I really like this color.
Yep, that's when you come and fog it nice and high.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I don't have to leave it that way.
Right.
I can change what I just did simply by rolling my white back out or my clear back out. I'm going to have some pockets, which will give me the illusion of a cell.
Right.
Like years ago, a cell was something we did on accident.
Now everybody wants
Now
them.
everybody wants it, and it's like, man, I got to figure out how to unlearn that.
Let's see if we have a little bit of clear left in the bucket. So you're saying that if we come in and pour clear, it's just going to open it up.
Right.
Okay, so let's do that. All right.
I should have saved you a little bit.
No, we got plenty. All right, so here it is. All right, so now I'm just going to come in. Now, I also like how the clear will almost look, it gives it depth. It gives it almost like a 3D
It will.
look.
And a lot of it's because it's pushing the majority of the mica. It doesn't push it all out of the way.
Right.
But like now you can see your white through here where you couldn't before. It was multicolored. Now, manipulating it's a personal style. I've had guys that come in here and just swirl it around, and I'm thinking, man, that looks terrible. But it ends up looking pretty good. So I try not to be real picky on how people do it. It doesn't matter.
I love a roller.
I use a roller
a
on
lot.
90%, and I will take and simply draw a line down for what I'm wanting to do. And now I've got color on there, so I'm going to take that color with me. And everything changes at that point. Everything kind of looks like I just put it into a line.
Right.
I did. I'm just trying to explain how it works.
Sure.
Getting the flow out, and here's where the clear comes in. You see how that clear just kind of pushes away? And all of your colors start to flow back in as a color.
Yes. So you're bringing that white up,
Right.
the substrate, but then you're also kind of creating colors as you go. Can I do one with this?
Absolutely. Please
Okay,
do.
so I love using the roller and kind of coming in and twisting and turning.
And if you're taller, you could reach the edge of the
Well,
board.
yeah, but what I love, look at this. Now look how, because we've kind of squeezed this epoxy together, look how I'm getting a blending
Right.
of those colors. That is so cool.
Now you're going to get that a lot more with like a putty knife when you force everything together.
Okay, so obviously we're not trying to make a finish. We're trying to show you guys how to manipulate this.
Right.
But this is turning out really cool. So you're saying if you take a Bondo spreader or a putty knife, then you get more of a distinct
Correct.
line.
A much more distinct line.
Okay.
So if I was wanting to, I could take and just kind of pull everything back. And I'm going to get a whole lot different line that way, but I'm fully exposing my white.
Right.
Now I need this to bleed back on itself,
Right.
which it will, because what's in the spray
Is relaxing
is relaxing it. It's letting it
And
come.
you can see how it's already closing up already.
Right.
Yep.
Now, one thing you notice when you do use a roller, we interject bubbles. That's where the relax comes in. I like waiting a little bit because whenever I get a design, I love the epoxy because it's thick enough it holds what I did. Versus pour it out there and whatever it is, it is.
It happens, right.
Yeah, so I like doing it that way. So I wait just a few minutes before I'll spray this with relax, because if I sprayed it too quickly, I can move my mica around.
Right, right. I have noticed that.
Sometimes
yes.
that's a good thing. If you want to move your mica, you can. If I'm wanting a very tight vein,
Ooh, wow, look at that. Ooh,
I can pull an extremely tight.
Yeah.
There's no end to what you
love
can.
that.
I mean, the way that looks. So your singular colors in clear, to me, brass bell, I love. Bronze, well, heck, I like them all. But you can get so many dynamic looks out of it, like what you had going on here. Now we have going on here.
Right. Let me grab it. I'm going to just try one thing. Okay, so I love this right here, this color here. So I'm going to do the same thing. Now we are really thin. We didn't put down even 3 ounces per square foot. So we are working with a thinner layer, which I kind of like because I feel like I have a little more control than if I would have a ton of epoxy on here. I really like that. And I like the fact that, like you said, I can be really kind of choosy on where I put that vein. That's way cool. Okay.
So you can, now the more epoxy you use, the more you're going to get a float out of it.
Exactly.
The more it's going to spread out. I'm more of the thinner guy. I like it a little bit thinner because I like putting my movement on it.
Right, right.
I don't like it to where it just,
Well, because it's trying to self-level.
Right.
You know, epoxy is trying to self-level again. So if there's more product on the surface, it's got more to self-level as opposed to being thinner.
And now if I want this area, I can get that a little bit easier the thicker I go, unless I use a putty or a Bondo knife. I can use a Bondo spreader and I can get that look all day long.
Yeah.
Now you can, any color you want, you can accent with it. Most people would drop a little gold, you know, a little gray, you know, just whatever you feel like. The number one thing I can tell you is don't think about it, just try it.
Don't be scared. Is that what you're trying to say? Don't be scared, just move forward.
Just move forward,
be
do
creative.
If you don't like it, if you don't like a little bit of black in there, get rid of it. It's not hard. And then just line it back out because it's going to line up. All of this is not going to leave.
Oh, I like that. How you just kind of drug it. That was cool.
You can take and drag a pile back and you can get, my God, there's so many different looks that you can get simply playing. The longer you play, every test board I do, I go all the way till I ruin it.
Right, me too. I do that.
And then I make it come back.
Oh, well, mine doesn't always come back.
I will do my, well, mine don't always either, but I will do my best to make it look good again.
Right.
But I'm going to keep going until I screw it up.
And happy accidents happen along the way, and that's how you learn. And I try to tell people that, you know, just work it and play until you felt like, oh, I should have stopped 3 steps ago.
Yeah.
But now you know what you
See, now
why to stop.
Now you got these areas going
I know,
on.
they're beautiful.
I mean, that's just insane.
I love how this is starting to very smooth, kind of ombre out into the white. Love that, love that, love that. Okay, well, so now let me ask you, because we are thin and we have, you know, we have some of our substrate exposed, if this were to cure, you know, really wavy, I'm not that worried about it because I'm going to come over this with a clear flood coat.
Yeah, you're going to put a flood coat on
Exactly,
anyway.
and then it's going to be like glass.
It'll be flattened like
Exactly,
glass.
so I'm able to kind of manipulate and cause some texture
Right.
and not be worried about
Now,
it.
most of these little spots will fill in. Let me see you relax. Every time I get these cans, I shake them, and this is one you don't have to shake.
I do the same thing.
Like here, I can come back and I can kind of change the whole
Yeah.
outlook.
And you really can't overspray that.
You can't overspray any of them. I mean,
Awesome.
it just does. So whenever I say you can put a lot on,
Oh gosh.
I mean, you can really put this stuff on.
Right.
It ain't gonna do nothing but dry.
Right.
When you come in here tomorrow, this board's gonna have a big old blop of brown in it.
Okay.
That's simply dry.
Right.
It will not hurt the epoxy. I don't foresee anybody doing that, but you can.
You just ruined my perfect picture.
I tried.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, okay? So now that you did
But hang
that.
on, when you see this, give it a minute.
Okay, leave it alone.
It's gonna blow you away.
Okay, well that's what I was gonna ask you is if you did do this, it's not ruined.
No, not
you
at
can
all.
just let it sit and then play with it a little bit
Hey,
more.
do it
okay.
right there. You got a hole into the board.
Okay.
Spray some in there and just.
All right. All right.
Now, if you want, like a lot of people like dirty pours, this will do the same thing.
Ah.
We don't have it, but if you take a cup and just spray some in, give it one twist.
Okay.
Spray another color, one twist.
Well, here, what if we did this? I have some white.
Spray it in the
What
white.
if we do that? Okay.
Okay, but you see what this is doing now?
Yes, it's starting to.
Your color's coming back.
Yeah. Yes, and it has like the really bright.
Yeah.
And I can see the kind of the alcohol kind of dissipating. Okay, so this is just the white. So you're saying just pour it in there, spray it in there, okay? And then do one twist. Now I put a lot in there. Should I not put that much in there?
You ain't gonna hurt it. Now you pour that out.
All right, I put a lot in here. So I probably shouldn't have put that much, but oh wow. That kind of looks cool.
Give it a minute, and this is just gonna flip you smooth out.
That looks neat. I like it when it's just barely in there too. That's pretty.
Yeah. But see, now you know if you spray a lot, you're gonna get a heavy color blending down. I mean, look at that. That is cool. Now, if you manipulate that, I have a lady that uses a toothbrush, and it's awesome. It looks really, 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 really well.
So when you say manipulate it, you mean come in and like move it around?
Yeah, kind of move a little bit over it into the brown to get a real.
Do I want to do that now?
Yeah, just play with it.
Oh wow, look at that.
Oh yeah, now you're in the fun zone.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so whenever you hear people talking about float, this is how you get it.
And and that's just part of the mica floating.
Correct.
Oh wow. Okay. Look at that. Ooh.
There's a million different ways you can do it. You don't only have to use spray. I would prefer you did.
Right, yeah.
But I use a lot of mixed in a cup. What it does is it limits the amount I have to do in a cup to where, oh, I just need a little bit of color. Spray it with a can, I'm good.
Right.
I can't tell how many countertops I did that I didn't have I ran out of my mix.
So what happens if I were just one of these people that just can't walk away? Okay.
And you're gonna muddy it.
And that's what I wanted to tell people. Because there is a point where you have to be mindful of what you're doing.
This will surprise you though.
Okay, so I'm just gonna pretend that I don't know anything as far as muddying, and I'm just gonna come in here and start moving this around. Now, I know that with a lot of products, if you came in here and started doing this, you're gonna create mud, just like you said, because we're just overworking the product.
One cool thing about this spray, I could probably work on this table for 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
So my time limits are extended by quite a lot.
Yeah, because oh my gosh, look at that.
Yeah.
Now that's kind of cool. I have to say, that is kind of cool. Look at the colors. Yeah. Now, I would never probably do this much work and mix all of these colors on a countertop.
Correct. Most of the time, most people I know that actually do a true countertop in your house, like my house, I got 3 colors in my house, and it's a very large countertop, so they're not piled on top.
But it's neat to know that, look at these secondary colors that I'm getting.
The way that they just float back up.
That's neat. Okay.
And that's simply because of the way it's sprayed in. The carriers we have in there. like this here. I just love that. Some of them come out really cool.
Yeah.
And
Well, I've seen people do that with epoxy. They'll just take their hands, okay, here, I'm gonna do it. All right, here goes anxiety. I know people that have taken product and just did this, and you're right, it looks like total poop when they first do it, and then it just...
A good friend of mine did that in my store, and I'm looking thinking, what on earth are you doing? It looked kind of atrocious.
Well, this is looking pretty atrocious.
Until it dried, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take your word for it, because I just atrocianed it up. Now this, but look.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. That's way cool. Yeah. Now, I did notice...
You can't get that out of a poured mica.
No. Now, I did notice, because we still have a lot of product here, that this was very slippery, very slick.
Yes.
Because there's still a lot of that, probably that, whatever that relaxant stuff is. So I did notice this moved a lot differently than it did over here.
Correct.
So maybe if I would have waited just a little bit longer. But what I love about this, and I could see, honestly, I could see doing this on a whole piece, because look at the depth that you're getting.
Oh yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, that's wow, that's cool.
Now, especially if you take and do your entire base like this, and then you pour clear coat over that, like your flood coat. Like I said, this you can't even sand out. It's part of it. So when you do your flood coat, you can spray some more colors in. I wouldn't suggest a lot.
Sure.
Because you don't want to dirty it up too much, but you spray a color on top, then you get the layered look. And it looks, I've had them that I've done that 4 or 5 times, and it looks like it's an inch thick.
Yeah, yeah.
They look
Very
incredible. Cool. I've got a good friend of mine that did this. His name is Chris Elam. I thought, man, what are you doing? It was remarkable what he did.
Well, I may have to just do one that's just nothing but that. I love that look right there.
That's why
Holy
I said,
cow.
Try it out.
I love that. I love that. That is incredible right there. Okay, well, Robert, we have a mess here, but we have so much cool stuff going on because we have so many different things that we were doing. So guys, I hope that we intrigued you. I hope that we inspired you to come get some of this product and play and learn for yourself. Now, if you will have looked at some of my videos, I've used this product quite a bit, but I've never stepped out of my comfort zone and really put a lot like we did today. And I'm gonna tell you, this right here is, I love it. It is so cool. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, you're welcome anytime.
Very, very pleased.
So guys, let me know what you think. Leave me some comments about maybe what you would like to create, maybe what would be your favorite color, and who knows, I may do a video just for you. All right, you can buy all of these Fuzion sprays on my website, rk3designs.com, where we do free shipping on all orders over $100 and same-day shipping if you order before noon, Texas time. All right, Mr. Robert.
Well, thank you very much.
You are more than welcome. So remember, guys, don't be scared. Move forward and be creative. We'll see you in the next video. You know how much I love my Fuzion Mica Sprays. They're amazing, especially the Relax. Well, he is the actual face, and I guess you invented this, right? So I'm going to let him take over. He's gonna show you guys exactly how this is all made, and then we're gonna address some Q&A towards the end of the video. So, Robert.
That'll work.
Have at it.
Nice to meet you all. I'm Robert Ward with RCM. I do have the patents on it. I do even manufacture it. So everything that you get, we have tested and made personally. The one thing I wanted to do is make sure we were kind of earth friendly. So we took out all of the propane propellants out of it, and there's nothing but air in the can.
So this is not a spray paint. I get a lot of people say, hey, I want to buy your spray paint.
It is not a paint. Matter of fact, it's the furthest thing from a paint that you can get not being a paint.
Cool.
This will, I named it Fuzion, and it's kind of silly, I dreamt it up, because it actually fuses to the epoxy. You can't sand it off.
Okay, cool.
You have to sand all the way through in order to get it out.
Okay, so it doesn't just sit on top?
No, it does not.
Okay, cool.
You can force it to sit on top, but it still won't sand out because it is fused to, you have to remove the epoxy. You can't alcohol wipe it MEK or nothing, it's not coming off.
Cool.
Once it's dry, you're done.
All right.
It don't work on dry. If I spray it on this board, I can come back 2 days later and wipe it off. It doesn't work that way. Inside the can is one of these bags. It's called a BOV, a bag on valve. We have our can. I cut the bottom out of this one. We have a loaded bag. We pressurize the can up and then we fill the bag up. Once the bag is full, I have enough pressure in that bag that it squeezes the bag and it sprays it out.
So it's not a propellant in here. It's just pressure.
Only thing coming out of that tip is product. There's no propellant, there's no air, there's no nothing.
Cool.
So I'm not injecting air into the epoxy either. On our first run, we've had a lot of runs at it, but we made them in this style of can. This style of can, if they have the ball in it, that means there's a propellant in here and there's a straw. That straw, if you didn't shake it well enough, would plug up the tip and you'd have to get another tip.
And that's what we had. We had a few issues with it would either keep spraying or it would clog up.
Now, if it keeps spraying, if like this is not enough shaking.
Right.
So all that mica, because we put a lot of product in these cans. I didn't cut that one wide enough, but you can tell there's a lot of product in here. And if you just start spraying it, it sucks it up that straw and plugs everything up. And it sometimes it won't even let it turn off because it just continually sprays.
And these are the old cans. We don't have to worry about that anymore.
We don't have these anymore.
Yes, good.
This one, the only thing about this one, if you don't shake this can up well enough, it's going to spray clear. You have to shake them up. These are not paint. Paint will stay shaken in a can for days. This will not.
It immediately starts to kind of sink.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's doing, is it's sinking in the carrier agent. Now, as it sinks out, that's a good thing. We want that to happen because at the end of it, that's kind of where we want to be. We want it sitting on the shelf. But the main thing is shaking this can up. Shake it up well.
Okay, I haven't shaken that one up. So show them what happens if you spray and you haven't shaken the can.
If you don't shake the can, the only adverse effect here, I'll tilt this up a little bit.
Okay.
Is it's just clear.
Okay.
I mean, you can see the wet.
Right, right.
I don't know if they can see it, but I can see the wet. Now, if I shake it and I spray, now you see I got a little bit of blue in there. I haven't shaken it well enough. This stuff you really, really, really have to shake up.
Yeah.
I tell everybody shake it for 2 minutes. Honestly, you can shake it for, if you shake it really good for 30 seconds or so, just to get a good shake.
Yeah, because I've noticed I can shake it really good for 30 seconds or so, and then I can put it down, and I can pick it up, and then I only have to shake it a little bit.
Right. After the first time, this is only after it's been sitting for a few days.
Yeah.
Just get it a good shake. A lot of people will use the spinner that they hook onto a drill, and it just spins it. That won't shake it enough.
Right.
After you take it out of the spinner, just give it a couple of shakes,
then
5 seconds. Then it's good because it's all dispersed. It's just not shaken up.
Right, I got you.
Okay, now we've shaken it more. I don't know if I've shaken it enough, but I've shaken it more. See, now it's not clear. We actually have color.
Color in it, right.
The more you shake it, the more color you're going to get. The longer it sets, the longer you need to shake.
Right. And these cans last forever. Oh my gosh, they last forever.
It's like I said, it's not spray paint. It goes a very long ways. Now, just to show you, this is our Paxton Pink. Can's cut open, so there's no pressure, there's no nothing.
Oh yeah.
It will still spray, but it still has color coming out because I just shook the can up a few minutes ago.
Right.
Now, if I wait for a day and come back, I'm going to have to shake the can again. You have to shake it to get plenty of color.
Gotcha. Yes. I love these. I love the new cans. I've not had any issues, like if they were to fall over and leak, I've not had any issues with that.
They don't do that. Well, we are going to do one thing.
Okay.
We're going to change the tip.
Okay.
And you're the first one I've told this to. I have finally found a fan tip for these cans.
Okay.
That will actually make a fan instead of a mist.
All right.
Okay, for most people, they don't care. I do. I like the fan.
Ah, yeah. Because you can be more specific and design-wise.
Exactly. Now, if you take a regular paint can and put it on here, it will spray out, but it's going to spray out in a straight stream.
I gotcha.
You don't want to do that.
No,
because
okay.
it puts out a lot of product. I can take 380 steps with a gun spray of just constant spraying.
Yeah. So this was actually, when you first had this concept, this was designed more for floors, right? That was kind of your thinking.
Correct.
Because you don't have to bend down and you know, make sure mica is all in the epoxy first. You can actually stand up with this new gun that you have, and you can kind of just walk and use it.
Correct.
And then I know people use it on countertops, and that's kind of where I come in. Now, what happens if you spray a whole lot with clear? Like,
You're going to get a super pigmented.
then you later on, after it all falls down. Yes, that's what I was curious
I
about.
probably should have used this one because it's more.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's the difference
Yeah.
between shaking and not shaking.
Oh man, I wish we'd have had that on. Oh yeah, look at it now.
Yeah, it's a tremendous amount of difference. When
Okay.
I shook it up the first time,
Right.
we got, well, you can see a little
Yeah.
bit in there. Shake it up one more time,
And then
it's an
boom.
amazing
Yeah.
amount of, and it's simply.
This is
simple.
my favorite color. Actually, I use this one, the brass bell, more than I use anything. I love it.
Now this is going to sound kind of weird, but Paxton Pink is one of my favorites.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
It's named
yeah.
after my granddaughter.
Oh.
I have several of my colors that
Yeah.
are different names. They're my grandkids.
Well, there you go. Now, look at it next to that bronze. It might become
yeah.
my favorite color.
The number one thing is just shake it up. That's it. That's all we have to do. If you spray too much clear out, it's not a big deal. It's just going to get really potent at the end, and you do stand a chance at plugging up your tip.
Because it's so
because you
concentrated with
took-
the powder.
You took most
Gotcha.
of your carrier out.
All right, so there's one more thing that I want you to show everybody is, what do you do after you finish using it and doing your design? What's the best way to clean it and store it?
Okay, like I said, it's in a bag and it's got a valve right here. That valve seats on itself. If you get mica powder, every one of them doesn't do it. Some of them just clean right out, but 1 in 100 will dribble out the nozzle. You can't tell it's doing it, so clean every one of your cans. All you do, like we haven't used the blue in a minute, the only thing you have to do,
That's it.
that's it.
And that's
And
after
if you
it's
notice,
sat
that
for a
was
little bit.
clear.
Yeah.
That's because the mica settled out and I'm taking only the product on top. I just clean the valve out so this can won't leak or dribble. I clean the tip out, it won't plug up, you know, because mica gets dry and it'll dry in there.
How long should they let it sit before they do that?
2 minutes, 3
Oh,
minutes.
okay.
It's a very, very fast process.
Cool. All right.
Because the majority of the mica is at the bottom.
Cool. All right, guys. This was just kind of an informative type of a video for you guys. I know that you guys love this as much as I do because I cannot keep this stuff on my shelf. So if you are interested in getting these products, check out my website, rk3designs.com, and check out the Relax, y'all. That's my favorite. I use it all the time to pop bubbles. I rarely have to use a torch. So that is my very favorite product. But all of these are amazing. The colors are amazing. We do free shipping on all orders over $100 and same-day shipping if you order before noon. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate
Absolutely.
it. And I'll look forward to all the cool things that are going to be coming out.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. See you
Thank you.
later. Love y'all.
Thank y'all.
Bye-bye.